Well, howdy ho, good neighbor. It is apparent we made our way to the end of the Hegenberger Triangle. That's right. You can see that it is just it's just dead here. That's all I could say. All these cars, spaces, should be full of cars, but not anymore. I remember you couldn't find a parking spot right here. This was full of cars, full of cars. Now, it's weeds. Right there, right where those things are, used to be the cross palm trees. Not anymore. In-N-Out still owns that burger, that building. What? In-N-Out still owns that burger. Of course they do. In-N-Out still owns that building. So they are paying a security guard full time to keep it clean and not spray painted. So the last of In-N-Out right here in Oakland. That's the tip of the triangle. And there's the Scam Tram empty. But all this used to be clean of trash, clean of weeds, full of cars. But people kept getting robbed as they were going their luggage, because the airport's right over there. So they would come to the airport, to Oakland. Guess what the first thing people do when they come to California, especially when they get off an airplane? They go right to In-N-Out. Well, people are getting robbed right in the drive-through. So you can't have a business if people's windows are getting smashed and people are walking out with all the goods. That was $1 million business and they couldn't survive. This is $1 million business. They couldn't survive. There's a lot of $1 million people that can't survive. Even mom and pop shops. They're just getting cars driven in to the jewelry stores, and gangs of kids go running in and smash. There's no empathy for these old people that run it. They just push them to the ground. Doesn't matter if you're 88 years old, they'll just push you to the ground. Well, these are the kind of videos that get views, because everybody likes bad news for some reason. I don't know why. Well, here you go. In-N-Out Burger, the last place to shut down. The first In-N-Out ever. All right. Well, as always, I want to thank you again for coming along with me on these Hegenberger Triangle, not the Bermuda Triangle, but just as dangerous. I think it's more dangerous. I keep my head on swivel right here. The only way I'm really feeling safe right now is there's security watching me. But I know that sometime, anytime, they can call them, I think they call them beepers, where they just call them something like that, where they just come in, go out. They don't care who you are and where you're at and how many cameras are on you. So always keep your head on a swivel. You never know when the beepers will get you in Oakland. All right. Well, as always, I want to thank you again for coming along with me on these Hegenberger Triangle adventures. You know the drill. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz. Bye-bye, everybody. Yeah. Screenshot. Beepers.